Welcome to another video. Today's video, I'm gonna be working on the Holley Hi-ram Intake for the Coyote. I'm actually gonna paint this just to give it a cool look. Hopefully it comes out right. This is the first time I'm attempting this. I also took the coil covers and I figure I might as well paint these as well, just to give them a different look. So let's get to it.
Music bed.
So to get this painted, I have quite a bit of different things here, but this is pretty much all leftover things I have. So I have some primer that I'm gonna use first. I'm gonna try, I have quite a bit, seems like. So I'm just gonna use, not all of this, obviously. I'm gonna try to do about 2 or maybe 3 coats on everything, just to get everything a nice coat of primer. So primer helps you have a good layer on there before you apply paint. Primer grabs onto bare metal or even plastic a lot better than just paint by itself, and then it gives it a surface for the paint to adhere better. So if I spray paint directly on here, it would go on there, but normally it wouldn't last as long, in theory. So I'm gonna try to do like 3 coats. Primer dries pretty quick, so I'm gonna try to, hopefully, I know this primer here has worked really well before, but it dries really quick on your paint gun as well. So I'm gonna try to do all 3 coats pretty quick. Also not, I don't want no runs, but I may have to clean the gun in between just so it doesn't dry up in there. Once I do the 3 coats, then I'll stop. I'll let this dry for a little bit, give it a little, hit it a little bit with sandpaper. Hopefully everything is pretty good on the metal. I'm gonna take some grease and wax remover and apply it on everything. And then once it dries, I sand this slightly. I'm not gonna sand it like a lot. Then I'm gonna go ahead and spray it all with the paint. For paint, I do have different things here. So I have some leftover from the 67. And as I'm sitting here talking about this, I am realizing I wanted to paint the nitrous bottle that's on the 67. So I'm gonna get that out of there and prep it, see if I can prep it really quick so I can spray the primer and the paint at the same time. I would hate to just do this and then want to go back. I don't have that much of the red paint left over, but I think it's enough for what I'm doing here in the nitrous bottle. So I'm gonna do that. I'll probably put the camera kind of on, I don't know if I'll put it on time lapse. I have a few videos of me painting that car, my Celine, different things, I think even my truck. So you can kind of reference back to those videos for kind of a how-to paint. I think I also did painting on my nephew's sailing truck and his girlfriend's car. So different videos out there for painting. I'm just gonna show between each coat on this one and just kind of show what I'm doing. So let me get that nitrous bottle so I can prep it and then we'll get started. Okay, went ahead and got the nitrous bottle, masked the label, and then the top, I hit it with some 600 sandpaper just to give it a little scuff. And got all these, already wiped them with grease and wax remover. So I'm gonna just get my primer mixed. When you buy paint, it tells you on the back how to mix it. So I'm just gonna follow the instructions. Looks like this is 4:1. I'm guessing when I did my car, the 67, I I bought quite a bit of this. I had some and I think I bought more, so I have a bunch left. I'm not planning on using all of it, so I'm just gonna mix enough. Like I said, do like 3 coats on everything before I start actually hitting it with paint. So I am gonna take my 67 out of here. You don't wanna paint with the car that you like inside of here because you are gonna get overspray over everything. And rather than covering it, even though it's a small area, I'm just gonna take it out, probably park it across the street. Because even this garage door doesn't seal as good, so if I park it right outside, it might get a little bit of overspray. And I'd rather not have to deal with that. So I'm gonna move that, come mix the paint, and we'll get started. Went ahead and sprayed the primer. So like I said, this stuff dries pretty quick. I mean, it's still kind of tacky, but it's almost dry. So everything looks good. Really happy that I didn't get no reactions or anything. I did clean everything, but you never know. Sometimes you start getting like fish eyes and things like that. So the lower intake, it's going to be a little bit harder for what I'm going for, but I just kind of want it painted similar to everything else. So that's that. I may actually put my other stand and just move it so I have a little bit more room to go around it, especially with all this stuff here. So everything is good enough for right now. I'm going to let it dry probably about an hour. Just you know, with primer, you want to let things dry a lot longer than an hour, just because it just takes longer, unless you have a paint builder or something. But you know, because I'm at home, I'm just gonna let it dry for about an hour and then do the first coat of paint that I'm gonna do, because you all guys see at the end what I'm doing here, what I'm attempting to do. So I'm gonna let it dry for about an hour. I'll probably scuff it a little bit with 600 again, just to get a light sand, especially like on this one. This one here, because it has the biggest surface area. I also want to make it a little bit smoother. And then this one's where it's smooth. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get in the letters and stuff, but that way it's as much as I can get it on there. So I'm gonna let that dry and then I'll come back and mix the paint, which I have some of it here, and then we'll spray some paint. The paint is now pretty dry. I went ahead and hit it with some 600 grit sandpaper, used a tack cloth just to give it a little scuff. Hit this one here as well, just to knock down some of the high areas and also give it a little bit of a better grip. Also did the coil covers here just to get them a little bit smoother. I did not do this one just because there's so many small areas that you know, it's okay. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and mix some paint now that I have here, and then I'll go ahead and shoot it. I'm gonna try to do about 3 coats of the paint. I have a pint, so that should give me pretty good amount of paint. I'm gonna try to use all of it because there's no need for me to keep that paint. Once paint gets hold to it, it's not that good anyway. So being that little bit of paint, I don't think I'll need it for anything else. I think I used about a pint of primer when I did all this, so it'll be about the same. So let me mix that up. Usually paint goes a little bit farther because it's thinner, but also because it's thinner, I want to do a few more coats. So let's mix it up. So here's the first coat of paint. I went ahead and did white. This is Oxford white, which is a Ford color. Did it on the intake. Looks pretty good. And then the cam covers. I also like how these came out pretty good. So they're looking pretty nice. And then the lower intake there. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit more, and there's more things I'm gonna go to that. So with the paint, I've seen a lot of people really, and I actually done it before when I painted a two-tone truck, is now that it's pretty much dry, because this has been about 30 minutes, you can mask this and paint it and then take the masking tape off. But I'm gonna give it a little bit more time, a few hours, just because I don't want any of the paint to come off. And so I'm gonna give it a little bit longer, and then I'll mix up the next color of paint that's gonna go on there and spray it. Okay, now that some time has passed, I went ahead and masked my pieces. I'm ready for my next coat of paint. I'm gonna mix that up and then spray those items. Okay, this is the second coat of paint. So as you can see, kind of starting to take shape. And what I'm doing here with the intake, so I wanted to do you know, a flag on there, so it's coming up pretty good. Couple different things though that I would recommend if you're trying to do this at home. I ordered these stars and they were supposed to be a vinyl, and I think they're more kind of like a paper sticker, and so they didn't stick as well. There was a couple that, like there was this one here flew off as I was painting, so that's why some of it is not completely white. And then here on the corners, it just peeled off a little bit. It still looks pretty good, but a better quality stencil here would have worked. Also, I used some of this plastic that I had, actually Junior had bought this, I think from Amazon, to mask. And this tape just, you know, once I was painting, it just kind of peeled off. And so a little bit like here, you can see where it kind of went underneath the tape, and a little bit of the blue got into the white. Especially on the corners where usually the tape, you know. So, you know, better quality tape. I should have just used my regular 3M tape all the way on the edge, and then just one on top of that one maybe. But once it's all done, I mean, this is going to be in the engine. It's not that big of a deal. Especially here, it was a little hard here on the sharp corners on the bottom. It kind of came undone pretty easy. So this stuff, not the best. The plastic, I mean, works good, but the tape that it comes with for automotive use, not that great. Chick-fil-A, that one is good. So I peeled all the stars off here. It did seem like maybe a little bit of residue wanted to stay behind from these, you know, like I said, it's like paper instead of vinyl. So hopefully when I clear, it doesn't make a reaction, which at that point, you know, it is what it is. But I'm gonna let this kind of dry for a little while. I may hit this with a little bit of the 600 grit just to see if I can take some of the blue off before I do the next. So the next masking, I'm gonna mask the blue, cover that, and then I'm gonna mask the stripes. So they're probably gonna be about maybe 2 inch. So I'm probably just gonna do like one here on the center. And that's probably gonna be a little bit wavy. One, I think it'll look a little bit cooler. Two, it'll make it easier to make the line, because, you know, if I make it perfectly straight, if I don't go like 100% straight, then you're gonna look at the engine and it's gonna look a little bit off. Where if it's a little wavy, you know, it's gonna look like I didn't do it straight on purpose. So here I was gonna do maybe one, kind of try to keep it here, but maybe I'll just do, you know, mask this center and then do like a red kind of here on the edge and red here on the edge. I might do that one on this one. And then this one, I guess depending if I do one here in the center, maybe I'll do another one on each side, which that's gonna end up being here. Then I could just do maybe one kind of here on this area, which might make it easier if I just mask kind of, you know, or maybe just mask from here down and do that red. You know, this gets a little bit harder when you're doing that with all this stuff, but I just want to kind of keep it matching. So if the other one's gonna be here, I mean, I may just mask from here up and then just do the stripe, you know, the rest of this all the way down. Because a lot of this you won't be able to see on the bottom anyways. And then this one, like I said, I might do either the center or the outside. I'm thinking maybe the outside, and then I can just mask kind of out here. You know, we'll see. But this blue is pretty much dry. This is the same blue as I painted my ceiling, so it should have pretty good pearl. Now this kind of color, when you first apply it, since it's two-stage, it looks dull. You know, I mean, the light can reflect on the camera, but in person it looks dull. But once you put the clear on it, it just brings all the pearl on it. So hopefully that'll look good. And then the red that I'm gonna be using is the same one that I did my 67 with, which is also a metallic red. And hopefully that comes out pretty good. So a few things for me to do here. Mostly let this dry for a while so I can mask without worrying about the paint coming off. I think like at this, oh, actually I missed one up here. There we go. I think at this point though, the paint is pretty much dry, so I can tape it, mask it, and keep going. This is gonna be the one that's gonna take a little bit longer because it's got more area. And I'm gonna try not to just tape everything because I don't want as much tape to peel off. Here the blue kind of got in there as well, so I'm gonna try maybe to do one stripe there so that way there's paint on top of that. So let me work on that and then I'll spray it and I'll show you what it looks like after. This is what everything looks like with the red stripes on there, so not too bad. There's a few things that I kind of made mistakes on, but the tape really didn't work with me here, so it was not taping. Good thing this is towards the back so you won't really see it. And then that plastic kind of stuck to the blue. You can't see it on camera too much, but it kind of made a little pattern on there, although it kind of looks like the flag is sprinkled, so I guess it works. Here the newspaper transfers some of its wording to the white, unfortunately, so yeah. But I'm just gonna make some clear coat it, and we'll see what it looks like at the end. Okay, so after clear coat is all done, this is what it looks like. So not too bad. Like I said, there are some things that I would do differently if I were to do this again. Definitely if I had time to just do one coat of paint, let it dry for a whole day, and then do the other one, it would make it easier so that you don't have some of the things happen. Definitely get some better tape. And I have, you know, that stuff I was using was 3M, but it just wasn't, didn't do as well as I thought it would. Maybe it's because it's been sitting in my garage for like 10 years though. So that could be my fault. But overall, I mean, it looks pretty good. This is what it looks like, you know, nice and shiny with the clear coat. You can see a little bit of the pearl from the blue. You could probably see it more in the sun. But overall, I mean, it looks pretty cool. The coil covers look all right. Again, there's some of that stuff from the newspaper that transferred, but not too bad. Looks better than just by themselves. Definitely looks better in camera, I think, than it looks in real person, or I guess from my liking. And then this one here, a lot of curves and stuff, but overall it looks pretty good. Got all the tape off. So when you do something like this, you do want to take your tape off right away, because if it dries, that corner where the paint is, it can peel off really bad if you let it dry completely, especially after doing clear coat. So I just took everything off. I still have tape on the bottom. I'm gonna move this where it's not painted so it doesn't stick. There's some tape on the bottom, but I can't really flip it right now. Same with this one, but that shouldn't be too bad because it didn't really go underneath. So, and I moved it earlier, but I'll move it again just so nothing sticks underneath. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys like how it comes out. Now we gotta install it in the car. I think that'll look pretty cool. I think the nitrous bottle looks a lot nicer than it would have looked just, or you know, how it was just with the orange. I was just gonna do it all the same color as the car, but I think this just makes it look kind of cool. So we'll see what it looks like in the car. Anyways, if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.